Hi, my name is Nina Brown. I live in Houston, Texas. I've had Parkinson's for 24 years, and it's given me the opportunity to advocate for the Parkinson's community and also to co-found two organizations that deal with embryonic stem cell research and regenerative medicine, and hopefully we'll get the word incurable out of a lot of diseases. Parkinson's can be a really tough disease. You can have unrelenting tremors, unbearable stiffness, unpredictable balance. Right now I'm wiggling. It's not because I have to go to the bathroom. It's because too much medication is getting to my brain. And once you're diagnosed, once you've had Parkinson's for a while, it's a balancing act to try and get the right amount to your brain. It's very difficult. I knew nothing about Parkinson's before I got my diagnosis. But when I did, I found out about it. One of the best things that somebody can do when they get diagnosed with a chronic disease is to educate themselves. And that's what I did, and I still do that every day. I read all the articles that come out. In fact, I have a doctor who asks me what to do. When I was first diagnosed with Parkinson's 24 years ago, I've decided that I would not be silent about it. I would be out in the open and get people to understand what it was really about. And in doing so, I joined a support group and have been on the board for 24 years now. As I was so involved with the Parkinson's community, Joe and I ended up going to Washington to advocate for Parkinson's research. And we became involved and became state coordinators for Texas for the Parkinson's Action Network, which is the national voice of advocacy for Parkinson's. And Joe and I went to Austin to testify against a bill that would have criminalized researchers for researching and studying embryonic stem cell research. And not only would it have criminalized them, but if I left the state to go get treatment elsewhere, I would have when I came back to the States, to Texas, I would have been subject to up to a $1 million fine and 10 years in prison as a felon. King Jr. said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And this mattered too much to be silent about. How people with Parkinson's should accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative in their lives. And it was on hope. And I mentioned in there that Parkinson's, while it's done a lot to me, has done a lot for me. I never would have been doing this presentation here for you, never talking with you about this if it weren't for Parkinson's. I never probably would have had the compassion that my grandchildren have by reminding me to take my medicine. And I never would have met some of the most amazing people in the world than I have without Parkinson's. And I never would have been able to co-found two organizations that have the possibility of removing the word incurable from Parkinson's and from all kinds of diseases. I did a video for the Parkinson's support group that I've worked with, and it was very telling because I interviewed these people, and it was very touching. And when I had my children over and I said, how does it make you feel that your mother has Parkinson's? They couldn't speak. I'm a grandmother, and I want to be able to play with my grandchildren. I don't want them to remember that their grandmother couldn't smile or talk or move. And hopefully, with stem cell research, there will be a cure in my future. My grandchildren are wonderful, all of them. They brighten my life. They delight me when I can't walk and I can't move. They're right there beside me. Let me help you, Grandma. They're taking my hand. They ride on my scooter on my lap on my scooter when we go places. I mean, I'm not able to move. I have to tell you, I'm not just doing this for my grandchildren, though. I'm doing it for, I do what I do because Brooke Ellison, who is paralyzed and dependent on a breathing tube and can't walk, can't move, was at a international stem cell conference I was at, and she told me she had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning so she could get ready to give the keynote address. Stem cells have the potential for Shayna, a beautiful 27-year-old who is on her 3rd liver transplant. And they hold the potential for my good friend's daughter, Meredith, who has diabetes and almost risked her life. Well, she did risk her life to have a baby. And she fears that she'll go into a diabetic coma and not be able to take care of the child. And I'm doing this for my husband who has my good heart husband who has a bad heart. And I'm doing it so I can play with my grandchildren without being concerned that the medication's going to be working or not, and I'll be able to actually play with them. These are the people who give my life purpose. They're the ones who make me want to get up in the morning and do what I do. My father was a good example of persistence and determination, and so instead of looking at Parkinson's as PD as Parkinson's, I look at it as persistence and determination. You have a choice. I mean, everyone has a choice as to how they want to spend their day. I could spend my day in bed laying there thinking of the things that aren't right with my body, or I could get up and think about what the parts that do work. It's much more fun being positive than negative. Circumstances can shape your life, but you shape your lives by what you make of your circumstances. It's like a card game. Life is. You play, you're dealt a hand and you play it out to the best of your ability. Make yourself the best person that you can be. There's a little poem that I remember. It says, "One day at a time, this is enough. Do not look back and grieve over the past, for it is gone. And do not be troubled about the future, for it has not yet come. Live in the present and make it so beautiful it will be worth remembering." And I think that that's what someone has to do with Parkinson's or any disease. Live for today and advocate. Advocacy is very important to me. What I'm doing now, I'm not doing for myself because I'm not sure that there will be time for me, but there will be time for my grandchildren and yours.